Almost a year ago now, I made a video on Paige Bueckers and the future of the WNBA, and in that video, I said that Paige has the chance to not only be a WNBA superstar, but to be the player who finally takes that league to legitimate relevancy. She could be such a star-powered draw to the general American audience that people will actually start to watch that league and realize that it's really not that bad. It's actually kinda good sometimes. But my opinion has changed since that time. Not the fact that I think the WNBA could be relevant and isn't, straight up garbage, but the opinion that Paige is going to do it by herself, because over the last few months, it has come to my attention that there is another future WNBA superstar who is actually going to be drafted at the same time as Paige, and together, these two female phenoms could create a Magic and Bird-esque rivalry, bringing a new level of entertainment value to the WNBA, just like the NBA got in the 80s. If you haven't figured it out already, I am of course talking about Iowa guard Caitlin Clark, or as Mike Krozumba would say, a female Steph Curry. Now, for those of you who have not previously watched Caitlin Clark, or maybe even heard of her, I highly recommend checking out a few of her highlight reels, specifically the one where she played against Michigan and scored 46 points, including 25 in the fourth quarter. And in that game, I saw this woman doing some shit that I have only ever seen a few NBA superstars do. She was pulling up from the logo and draining it. She had two defenders on her, she was dribbling around them, taking step-back threes, draining them. She was hitting passes, she's got a great handle, she was getting to the rim and getting fouled. She is just a fantastic overall player, and I would say the Steph Curry comparison is a little bit off. The best real NBA player comparison I can think of for her is Trae Young. They're both players who draw a lot of fouls, they're fantastic passers, although they do have some slight turnover issues, and they are very, very good shooters, albeit ones who are a little bit streaky. Caitlin is only shooting 33% from 3 this season, but it should be mentioned that she is taking some ridiculous three-pointers. Like I said, she pulls up from half court, she's got two defenders on her all the time because she's the best player on her team by a mile. She is not facing easy defenses here, and yet she still managed to shoot 41% from 3 in the previous season on 10 attempts a game. So you know that when she is playing on a team where she cannot be doubled 24/7, she is going to be a knockdown three-point shooter. On top of all of that, she's still shooting 46% from the field this year, with 7 rebounds and 8 assists. She's turning the ball over 5 times a game, which is a big frickin' deal. Like, that is a serious turnover issue, okay? She's got some problems, but once again, she does face very tough defensive coverage, so I'm willing to give her a little bit of slack. Obviously something she needs to work on, but she's only a sophomore in college. I don't expect this player to be perfect. She's averaging a steal and a half a game, and she is leading her team to a very good record while leading the entire Division I of the NCAA in both points and assists this season. Caitlin Clark is a beast, and by the time she is drafted in the 2022 WNBA draft, alongside Paige Bueckers, who these two are pretty much guaranteed at this point to be the number 1 and number 2 pick, I don't think anyone would argue with that, they are going to have even more hype around them than they have now as they continue to improve and put on shows and garner attention in the college level. So when these guys get to the WNBA, maybe I'm just a hopeful fool, maybe I am blinded and delusional, and I have higher hopes for the WNBA than most, and it, makes me believe things that aren't true. But I really think that when you have these two players drafted together, they come in together, they play against each other, they put up phenomenal numbers, and people hear about how good these two players are. Along with the fact that WNBA has been very slowly improving on its own in general over the last several years, but with a lot of the old stars retiring, right, these guys are the fresh blood. These girls are going to be the ones to take this league into the next generation. I really think they could pull off a Magic Bird type rivalry where they're two guards who are phenomenal. They're great scorers, they're great passers, they've got a lot of hype around them, especially for female players. They could be the ones to make the WNBA relevant. I really believe it. And maybe you're one of those cold-hearted bastards who really wants to see the WNBA fail. I gotta say, I have no idea what's wrong with you. Like, I don't know why you would want women to not, like, succeed at basketball. I don't understand what the logic is there. If you're someone who likes basketball in general, I feel like you should like it for both sides. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the weirdo for wanting to see the WNBA do well. But if it does well anytime soon, I really think that the duo of Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers is going to be the reason why. I think that these two have a chance to truly do something special and to bring relevancy to an entire league. Thank you all for watching, and seriously, check out some Caitlin Clark highlights. She's a beast.